Positive Anime Reviews is a review show that is designed for people who aren't very picky about their anime, like me. Most anime I watch ends up in my 5 out of 5 category. My reviews are for those people who are looking for a reason to watch anime rather than hate on it. I am willing to give any and all anime a chance before stating my opinion. Lastly, my reviews are all my opinion and might and or most likely will not match yours. If you don't agree, that's totally fine. Just be respectful in the comment section. Thank you. And as always, possible spoiler warning ahead. Hey guys, Darthcloak here, back with another positive anime review. So today we will be talking about Kantai Collection, and I'm gonna crush this. KanColle, something like that. I don't know, but it's Kantai Collection, which is what most of you will know it by. So this anime was, I just finished watching it. So before I say anything else, so there's a couple of things we have to go over. So the first thing is I have redone my review system a little bit. It's nothing major. There'll barely be any difference. You guys probably won't even notice. But on my end, I changed things because I realized that my old system, that I wasn't particularly paying much attention to it. I was barely using it as kind of a sort of guide. But I've added things since then, since I wrote down my original way that I reviewed anime or games as well. I have changed the way that I've done it, and I added a few things. Well, now on my document, those things have been officially added, and I changed the way that they were all listed for more, easier following and reading. So I don't know. I'm not going to promise that I'm going to stick to it or anything in this always order, because if it's too rigid, then it doesn't sound natural. You know what I mean? And so, I'm going to sort of try and stick to the order it hits on. That way I never miss anything for any anime, and hopefully it feels like less rambling is the hope and the prayer. Anyway, so before we get started, there is one season to Kantai Collection. There is the one season. Now, they technically, at the very end of the anime, they did say another season was being made, but this anime aired in 2015, and we have yet to see anything, and I have not heard anything, so I don't really know if there's going to be another season. But the other thing I had to mention is there is a movie. Now, apparently, the movie is a sequel. Now, I have not seen the movie, but it's because I just found out it was a thing, because when I checked my animelist.net, that's where I read all my synopsises for that's where I read the synopsis for each anime that I watch, and to you guys, not so much for me, but I also use it for me as well when I'm trying to decide what to watch next. But anyway, if you go to the bottom, it tells you that there's actually a movie. Well, I read the tiny little synopsis on that. I opened that up. Well, apparently that movie is a sequel, and I have not seen it, but I would encourage you guys to go see it after you watch this anime. Now, apparently it's a game. Apparently it's it's a web game or a card game or something in Japan. I have not played or even heard of it very much. All I know is I've watched the anime and it was good. Anyway, so I would encourage you to watch the movie right after you watch the anime, or after you watch it. I'm probably going to try and watch it today. Maybe after I get all done recording, maybe I will put that movie on sometime this weekend. Hopefully today would be more ideal. But anyway, I'm going to try and watch that movie pretty soon here, because if it is a sequel, well, I would love to know what happens. Anyway, so launching into it, we will be starting with the synopsis, because that's a great way to sum up the whole anime and what it's about. Anyway, so with the seas under constant threat from the hostile Abyssal Fleet, a specialized naval base is established to counter them. Rather than standard naval weaponry, however, the base is armed with kanmusu, girls who harbor the spirits of Japanese warships, possessing the ability to don weaponized gear that allows them to harness the powerful souls within themselves. Fubuki, a young destroyer type kanmusu, joins the base as a new recruit. Unfortunately for her, despite her inexperience and timid nature, she is assigned to the famous 3rd Torpedo Squadron and quickly thrust into the heat of battle. When she is rescued from near annihilation, the rookie warship resolves to become as strong as the one who saved her. So that's basically it. So basically, these girls have the ability, they have like the spirits of ancient Japanese warships, and they can put on this gear that allows them to fight like the warships that they're named after. Now, from what I understand, is a lot of the type of ship they are, or their name. Apparently, the name of their ship was actually names of Japanese warships once upon a time. So that's cool. It's a fun way to sort of tie in that. And it was really cool. So going into similar anime is our next section right after the synopsis here. Now, similar anime, the first thing I thought of was actually Strike Witches. So if you guys have seen Strike Witches, it is a kind of similar premise, and that's what it reminded me of. So if you guys have seen that, then you probably would like this as well. And if you haven't seen that, then I would encourage you to go watch that. But anyway, as it is also really good. But anyway, so that's what I thought of, and that's what it seemed similar to me, because it was very similar. Now, Strike Witches, it's like a very similar thing, but they're like... but it's like flying. I'm pretty sure if memory serves correctly, it's about like they like can fly like planes, as if my memory is correct. But anyway, because it's been a long time since I watched that. But anyway, so yeah. So as far as rating goes, it was very clean. It's PG-13, and mostly there's of course some violence. It's military. So there is like some military action, but there's no blood. There's no sexual content. So it's pretty clean. And so the rating on my anime list is PG-13, and I think that's probably accurate. I think the military action might be a little much for PG, so I would give it a PG-13, but it was pretty clean. I mean, there wasn't much to worry about there. Now, going of course into genre, the genre will be action, military, sci-fi, and that's mostly what I would call it. Not even so much sci-fi. I would say action and military. Now, my anime list lists it as sci-fi slice of life in school. There is a few slice of life sections, and there is some slice of life stuff in the middle sprinkled over the top, but it's not very much. It's not very much slice of life. So if you're not a slice of life person, then fear not, because that's not really the point. It's mostly military action is definitely what I would say there. Now, there is of course some slice of life stuff, but not much. Anyway, now season length, of course, it is only the one season, and it is 12 episodes, so it is not that long of a watch. Now, this anime did air in the winter season of 2015, and so obviously it's been a little bit. So obviously it's been a little bit since it goes out, and I did mention, of course, they technically have a name of another season, but I haven't seen another season, but there is a movie, and like I said, go watch the movie. I'm gonna watch it as soon as I can. But anyway, now going into the character section, there were a lot of characters in this, show. Now, a lot of them, there are a few of them that are important, and a lot of supporting characters. So, if you get bombarded with characters, fear not. Most of them are supporting characters, and don't feel that bad. Now, obviously, the most important one is going to be Fubuki. She is, of course, the main character. Now, there's a couple of other characters that are, like, around her that are other main characters would be, like, Yudachi, Mutsuki, Akagi would be like the main ones. I mean, because I'm looking at the character list on my anime list, and it's listing some of the characters as main characters, which I disagree with. I would say supporting character would be Kongo, Kaga, and then of course there's a slew of other side characters. But of course the main ones you should worry about should be Fubuki, Akagi, and probably Mutsuki, Yudachi, and maybe Kongo. But anyway, but not the point. So there are a lot of characters. Now the characters were really well made. They were well put together and very likable, and you certainly did care about them. That you did, want to, you wanted to know about a little bit, not so much backstory, because they didn't really go into backstory very much, but you did want them to be happy. You did want them to, be safe, of course. I mean, you cared about them, and that's a sign of a good character, I think, is if you do honestly care, and you did. So I think that was really good. Now, some of my favorite character is probably going to be Akagi. She is older than Fubuki, the main character, and the main character really, really looks up to her. She really, really idolizes her, and Akagi was my favorite character. Now, there are some supporting characters that I really liked, but we're not going to go into that so much. You guys will meet them when you watch it yourself, but my favorite character would probably be Akagi. Anyway, now the animation was really good. There were some CG moments, but the CG moments were pretty good. It wasn't like a jaw-dropping CG moments, but there weren't that many of them. It wasn't, the craziest thing you ever witnessed in your life, but that also wasn't the point. They were pretty good. They were pretty polished and enough that I'm like, wait a minute, is this CG? And I was like, yeah, okay, that's CG or whatever. Like it took me a minute to realize it. You know what I mean? So it wasn't that bad. Now music, the opening song and then the closing one were both really good, and they both added a lot, I think, to the overall feel of the anime. That they both did their job great. But otherwise, there wasn't a lot of music so much in the anime. Like nothing crazy, but the light music that's there did its job, I think. And overall, it was a good anime, and it was short, and I would love another season. But of course, if the movie is the sequel, then we don't have to worry so much about that. But it was cool. Now, you should know that although it is animated a little, it is well animated, and it's kind of, I've noticed this trend where if it's an older anime, if it has adult themes, a lot of sort of older anime that have very much adult themes, they're often, to me, it seems like that they have a tendency to not always be like pretty to look at so much. You know what I mean? That often maybe they're dingy or maybe they're dark, and I'm not saying that they did a bad job. It's just that it's like that's the point. Is, you know what I mean? Is that's the feel of the anime. So if it's dark and dingy and scary and gloomy or whatever, they're like, that's fine. That's the anime. That's it's an adult anime. Well, and I don't really love that art style. That I feel like that you can tell a adult story and have adult moments without it having to be ugly to look at. You know what I mean? Or having an art style where the characters look weird, so you're always taken out of the anime because the art style's weird or whatever. You know what I mean? And I'm one of those people that I don't really like that. That if the art style's too weird, it's gonna suck me out of the anime, and it's all I'll be able to think about is how weird everything looks. So one of my favorite things is when you find an anime that has a great art style. It's really pretty to look at. It's really well put together. Has great animation, but it's also adult. A great example would be Kokoro Connect, I think is the name of that one, and it's a really great anime. At some point I'm going to rewatch it and I'll get an actual review out, but it was one of them that had a lot of adult themes, and it was very old and mature, and it had a lot of important things that it talked about, but it was also very pretty to look at, and it had, a really pretty art style. And I've noticed that a lot of younger anime that it's kind of geared towards a younger audience often it's much more pretty to look at. So for me, I love the crossover that when you get an anime that is adult and mature, which is my favorite type, but also give it the pretty art style of a younger anime, I love it. And so this anime was like that it was very pretty to look at, and it did have some adult themes. That there was death. There is at least one character that died, and a lot of characters that almost died, and there was wounds, and there was drama, and so it was well animated, but there was adult, mature moments, and I loved that. And the more that I see that, the happier I am. And this anime did a great job with it. So if you are a fan of military action, that if you have seen Strike Witches or you haven't, then and if you did watch this and liked it already, I would encourage you to go watch Strike Witches. But also, this anime, of course, is that the military action was fun, and the crossover between like the girls with the spirits of Japanese warships is a really cool, creative premise, and I like that, and I love that. Keep it cool, keep it exciting, and it was really good. It was really well put together, and I watched it and I enjoyed the whole ride. So, and I would encourage you guys to do the same. So, going into final rating and recommendation, which is our final rating, is going to be a 5 out of 5. Very good. This anime made no mistakes worth noting, and is definitely worth a buy. That's honestly no surprise, is because I give most of my anime, of course, as 5 out of 5. If they made no mistakes, then most of them get 5 out of 5. And this is no exception. That it did a great job. There's no mistakes worth noting, and it certainly deserves its score. Now, it wasn't quite enough to be 6 out of 5. And it's not enough to be one of my favorites that I've ever seen, but it also was really good, and I 100% recommend it. So, of course, as recommendation, I 100% recommend it. You should absolutely watch this anime. If you've seen Strike Witches, then you're probably going to like this one too. If you saw it and you liked it, then you'll probably, like this one too. It was really good. It was really well put together. You cared about the characters, and I enjoyed the ride the whole way through, and I think you guys will as well. So I definitely encourage you to watch it. Anyway, but that's going to call it for our review today. So right after this, I will be recording. Now I will be starting off with Old Republic, of course, first. We will be starting off with that one, and I think odds are we will be able to finish Act 1 for our Sith Inquisitor today, because we only have the one planet that's there, and then we have the rest of just wrapping up the chapter stuff. So odds are we'll be able to finish that planet today, so that's pretty fun. And then I'm on the fence about recording Battlefield today. I might be only recording one, or I might record both. We'll just have to see what time does and what I feel like once we get closer. But anyway, we are going to be recording Old Republic right after this. We just might be skipping Battlefield today. We might do one tomorrow, and it might be Battlefield, or we might do two tomorrow, and then it might be both. We'll just have to see what happens there. Anyway, so I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope you guys found it helpful. I really enjoy doing these anime reviews. It's really because I watch a lot of anime anyway, and so if I can get anime content on my channel, I've been enjoying it a lot. So hope you guys have as well. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the content today, and we will talk to you guys later.
Hey guys, Darth Clark here.
Oh my gosh, though, what an upset. Darius is like, forget your type advantage, scrub.
And look at that stat line.
Ooh, sexy. This is your chance, my dude.
It's tear gas. Reznov, save me.
Everyone's rushing. Let's rush too.
You could say we're rushing to the objective. I'm so sorry.
I'm gonna shoot your little toes. You think PETA's gonna come after me for just executing these monkeys for literally no reason at all?
Shoot at me, sorry. Oh my gosh! Be careful what you wish for, kids.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the content today, and we will talk to you guys later.